Hello, everybody. Let's give a round of applause to all the speakers that we've had this morning. They've been unbelievable, interesting, inspiring. They've set the bar really high. Go ahead and set your expectations really low. And also to our MCs who've done a wonderful job. I know it's not easy. This is not easy to lead the ship to success, but so far so good, right? Welcome to your bilingual portion of TED Talk, TEDx Talk. I wanted to be a broadcast journalist from the age of 15. Yeah, I'm that weird kid who was born old and knew exactly what she wanted to do. I was so determined that when my father threatened me with a summer job at my uncle's insurance company, I picked up the phone and called the news director of one of our local TV stations in San Juan, Puerto Rico, that is where I'm from, and I begged him for an internship. This was back when internships were unpaid. The horror, right? So I worked there for 3 high school summers and my entire college summers at WAPA Wapa TV in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And when I was done with that, I saw a clear plan a clear path to being a broadcast journalist. I would go to college for a broadcast journalism degree. Then I would have a few internships that would turn into a great demo tape. And then I would work at a few local small market stations. And then, like a miracle, a network executive would see me working in Paducah, Kentucky, and say, "That's her!" And I would end up at the network like the Puerto Rican Katie Couric. Yep. Then my senior year at the American University, a broadcast journalism professor gave me a piece of advice. She said, "Well, if your only special talent is that you speak Spanish, maybe you should focus on that to help you stand out." I was so offended. Se mira esta, ¿qué le pasa? I'm totally going to rock the English market. And I was even more offended because this professor was not a local TV reporter. She wasn't a network correspondent. She was a reporter for a farming show. She was a farming correspondent in Washington, D.C. So I guess her special talents were corn feed and cow manure. But okay. So as I was finishing school and I started looking for a job, I noticed that without my language skills, I was going to be lost in a sea of professionals that all looked like me. They were all prepared like me, and we were all competing for the same jobs. So I remembered my professor's words, and I called my mentor, Lori Montenegro, at Univision in Washington, D.C. And I asked her, where is the Spanish company looking for a reporter in the United States? Because my focus is that I wanted to be a TV reporter as soon as possible. And I needed to find a way to get there. And that's how at age 21, I ended up at Univision Chicago, fresh out of college, when most of my friends were going back home at entry-level positions in jobs that weren't on TV. I was becoming a TV journalist in the 3rd market in the country, thanks to El Español. And I worked at Univision for 9 years. Let's watch.
Está preparada, divina para Despierta América. Yo los dejo porque a mí sí me tocó trabajar hoy y ya es hora de descansar. Mejor que trabajen mis jefes, ¿verdad? Seguimos con más de Despierta América y aquí los dejo con esta salsita divina de un verano en Nueva York.
Google Translate that, it's fun. Let me know what it says. So I worked at Univision for 9 years, and I was a local TV reporter in Chicago, a weekend anchor, and then I moved on to work at the network level. This is what's great about being a big fish in a small pond. I covered things at the age of 21 and 22 that other reporters in small markets at my age wouldn't be covering. I covered the Pope's visit to St. Louis. I covered elections in Puerto Rico. I covered major political events in our city, and that's a very big deal because I was 22 and 23. I was expected to do this later on in my career, but because I could speak Español, that was an asset. I could do these things. I could make my dreams come true. I was at Univision in New York, and after almost a decade, I felt like it was time to try my hand at English television news. I contacted an agent who represented Hispanic talent, and I asked him, you know, can I do this? What do you think? Let's get a reel together. And he said, you know what? Forget about it. Stay at Univision. There are too many reporters that look like you and know what to do, but don't have that accent. All right. So I knew I had the journalism skills. I knew I had the talent. I was worried that Spanish would be a barrier, but I trusted my gut, and that's what I've done for the last 20 years, actually for my entire life. If my gut tells me to go for it, I just do it, but I prepare myself. And I thought, if the accent's gonna be an issue, we're gonna solve this. And I was in New York, and so I went to an agency that offered accent reduction classes. Those exist. Actually, Heidi Klum went to the same teacher. That's why I sound German now. And I couldn't afford her teacher. I went to a teacher from Long Island. And that woman taught me the difference between president and precedent and orange and orange. I paid $100 a session to get rid of my accent. But little did I know that my Spanish would end up getting me the job of my dreams once again. I was contacted by a different agent who took a chance on me, and he sent my demo tape to WGN Morning News, where there was an opening for a feature reporting job. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be a feature reporter in a major market, because I wasn't selling myself short or my experience at Univision short. I was a network correspondent in New York City. I wasn't gonna start from zero. I wanted a major market job. And he sent it to WGN, but he sent my Spanish tape to my WGN Morning News director, who spoke no Spanish. And he watched it, and he loved it. And he showed it to other people at WGN. I can picture them like going like, what? Oh, she seems funny. Oh, they're laughing. Oh, she must be funny. Because no one spoke Spanish at GN. So they called my agent and they asked, does she speak English? And we sent them a tape in English, and they called me in, and they interviewed me. And I remember it was Valentine's Day. It was awful and dreary in Chicago, and they loved the fact not only that I could speak the language, but that I knew Chicago. And that's something that in this market is priceless. We love our Chicago people to know how to pronounce our streets, that it's Polina, not Polina, right? And so I was hired 10 years ago to be a feature reporter, the around town reporter for the #1 morning news in Chicago, WGN Morning News, and my favorite newscast. And when I was hired, I had been working for almost a decade only in Spanish. So this was gonna be the first time I spoke English on TV. I also don't work with a prompter. So I have to improvise every morning what I'm gonna say, and I had never spoken English on TV. So I had this recurring nightmare that I would be covering a breaking story, and they would say, let's check in with Anna Falafel at the scene. And I'd be like, big fire. mucho smoke. Don't come around here no more. Back to you, Larry. Cuchi. But it hasn't happened, and I have another year in my contract, so you may want to tune in, see what happens. Maybe make it a drinking game. But again, my dreams had become true thanks to Español. I haven't messed up that big. This is what has happened.
Competition I was in a year ago, and they said, don't push anymore. He can come out at any time.
Oh, gross.
Why is this onesie, is what I call it, this bodysuit, what I should have for the frigid temperatures coming along?
Well, the cool thing, this is the Air Blaster Ninja Suit. Kind of started out as a joke around the Air Blaster offices, turned into the best-selling first layer for every shirt and pant. We saw 4 of these.
Domingo, en el All-State Arena. Monster Jam. Este domingo en el All-State Arena. Monster Jam.
That's so hot. Very nice.
I'm thanking for getting free from a divorce.
Yeah.
Woo!
All right.
Got the demon out of my life.
Dan, Robin, I've taken it out of retirement.
There you
The
go.
freaking Rican is back.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so what is this again, Nick?
Speed bag.
Okay, so you said straight side,
Rotate your
straight.
hands. Yep. Nice and easy.
You want to see how we do it back where I'm from?
Whatever works. Yeah. That'll go, Rocco.
And you know what my slogan is, Robin? For the freaking Rican?
What?
Don't make me take my earrings off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She knows also.
So miserable.
I've never looked sexier, haven't I?
Well done.
What's your pickup line?
What's my pickup line? Oh, Miss Anderson, how are you?
Oh, that's good.
Because you're always my wife.
That's good. That's good.
like that.
That's good. Okay, so what is the most embarrassing song you have in your iPod?
If you like pina colada and getting cold in the rain.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Dale, no, go on.
I think that's
I'm at the party deck with Mr. Anderson. We'll be right back with more live from Soldier Field, showing you this amazing home of the Bears and hang out with some very cool players.
Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't go back to Puerto Rico.
So I'm no Katie Couric. The great Billy Corgan serenading me. I mean, how lucky am I? The front man for the Smashing Pumpkins singing about Puerto Rico, and that's what's happened. I have become, with my zest for what I do, my passion, my biculturalism, one of the most popular personalities in our newscast. And as you can see, I've also been able to incorporate the language, el español, in my newscast. And there is no more rewarding moment than when I meet people on the street and they say, I love when you go all Puerto Rican and break into Spanish. That for me is making it. That for me is why Plan B was the best, because I had focused on Plan A working out perfectly, and life showed me that that was not the right route, that I should stop trying to push back who I was, neutralize who I was, and just embrace that special talent that now has me living in a bicultural world and living my dream. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Before you come up, I want to thank Amanda Gatt and her team who put these TEDx Talks together. from Columbia College. I want to give them a round of applause. These guys have truly restored my faith in millennials. I want them to hire me when I'm 50 and they're 30, anywhere where they're at, because their type A personalities, their support. Amanda took me from no speech to a complete TEDx talk, and I want to thank them, and I want to say how proud I am that Chicago counts with Columbia College and their students in our great city. Have a wonderful day. Buenas tardes.